Hey guys, so we're in Stockholm. This is the final day with Brian.
Hi.
Brian is from Germany? Taiwan. But
yeah, Taiwan, yeah, but I live in Germany.
So just a bit of insight for guys watching. How have you found the experience so far of working with me and Ed for 4 days?
Yeah, 4 days. Well, before I came to this boot camp, I was already doing some coaching with Ed, but that's like a WhatsApp long distance phone coaching, and yeah, I did have some progress, but after these 4 days, I have did massive amount of approaches. Like how many approaches do you think I've done?
Man, it was like a crazy amount.
Altogether, you've done probably more than 100 so far.
No, far more than 100. Man.
Yeah,
he was doing like 80. You did like 80 on the first day.
80 on the first day, yeah.
Probably not that much.
Yeah.
Probably at least 50.
Yeah,
I mean, you've probably done at least 200, 250 approaches.
All right. Yeah, probably. And because before I came to boot camp, I still have some approach anxiety. And after this massive amount of approaches, I feel like I don't really give a shit about approaching beautiful woman, a nicely dressed up woman, and yeah, I think that's the main improvement I have.
So yeah, we've been working on getting you to actually, when you first started doing the approaching, I think you were lying yourself out was the big thing, not staying in the conversation because you're feeling nervous, but we'd encourage you to really suck up that discomfort, marinate in the discomfort, because at the end of the day what we're doing inherently is a bit uncomfortable. You're talking to new people, it's always going to be a bit sticky, and then when the fact they're a hot girl as well and we're kind of a bit nervous, it's going to make us really feel that kind of nerves, but we just have to push through. Stay in the conversation.
Yeah, because I remember yesterday you were saying that when a girl is kind of dressed up all nicely and she's all made up and she's like a really nice dress or whatever, it feels, or it used to kind of feel quite intimidating for you, whereas now it's more like you just do not give a shit and you just see her just as any other girl, whereas that was one of your kind of fears, I guess, to start off with.
Yeah.
Is that something you kind of feel you've kind of overcome a bit?
Yeah, that's right. And because for me, these girls dressing up, I think they're going for a social event, and they look like, even if it's H&M, it just looks like really posh, and then I feel a bit inferior to approach these women. But then James and Ed just really pushed me to just go talk to them. Whatever happens, just go talk to them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, whatever happens, you're not going to die.
And they're not that scary, actually.
They're just human beings. And they look a certain way.
Because obviously in Sweden you do get quite a few girls, especially on a Friday night, Saturday night, who do dress really, really fucking well. And there's almost, I remember you saying it was almost like a slight inferiority complex to see oh, they're never going to like me, or they're always going to want to go with someone else. But you realise that you had some of the best conversations with them, last night as well in the bars.
Yeah, in the bar.
They were some real stunning looking girls, and all dressed up nice and fancy, but actually you realise they're just like any other girl.
Yeah, that's right.
In some cases they're more friendly.
That's right.
So, yeah.
That's a good point. And the other thing that you've been working on is something we talk about a lot, which is just being playful.
Yeah, playful.
Guys will just go in, they'll give the compliment, but just stand there being super serious, going to question time, and that for a girl it's not fun, right?
Yeah.
So we're always just practicing being playful, banter, that kind of deep-seated identity change of just moving forward when you go back to Germany, being playful with everyone, not just girls. Just always trying to make someone smile or laugh within 10 seconds, whether it's someone serving you coffee or lunch or at the gym. If you're constantly doing that, it's going to make flirting with girls and being playful with girls so much easier. You're constantly in that kind of playful state, and it's more fun to have these conversations. There was one you did, which she turned out to be a married woman, but it was just she was giggling like a schoolgirl from the second you open her.
Yes,
exactly
I remember that.
Vibe that's fun. It's not only fun for her, but it's fun for you, right? You came out and you're like, yeah, man, that was really cool. That's how it should be.
I also enjoy it, just seeing a beautiful woman laughing for your joke or just for the conversation, whatever. You just feel good. Just enjoy the moment. I think the most important thing you told me about this day game thing is enjoy the process.
enjoy the process.
Don't always enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because like whenever you're feeling good internally, it rubs off in the conversation. The girl senses it, and she's going to mirror your vibe. If you're having fun, she's going to have fun. Whereas if you go in very kind of like I guess kind of like sluggishly or like monotone, she's going to be like, do I really want to speak to this guy? So it's always, you know, she's going to reflect your vibe that you're feeling internally.
Yeah.
Another thing that was that we had to spend quite a bit of time working on was sometimes you're a bit kind of too sort of empathetic towards the girls. You didn't want to kind of disrupt them too much. I think like your front stop was always pretty good. Maybe I think on the first day when you were approaching girls who were walking, maybe you had to work a bit on your front stop. But by the second day, you had that pretty much solid. And your initial approaches were really well done. But it was just sometimes you were kind of blowing yourself out a bit too early because you were like, oh, are you in a rush? Or you're on your way to work. Do you have a boyfriend? That kind of thing,
I see the girl is drifting away. I just okay, you must be in a rush, and you must be like going to meet your friend, you don't want to be late. Okay, I just leave you, and
I think there was just a little bit more conviction on your end, and just kind of really going for what you want. And sometimes you just have to kind of prioritize your own needs rather than just being like, you know, because I think your natural nature is to kind of be very caring towards the other person at the expense of yourself. When actually day game isn't about disturbing people, it's not about kind of disrupting people, it's actually about bringing that positive energy to someone and seeing if they're a cool person, if they want to kind of if they resonate with you and you want to take things further. That's what day game is all about, really.
I think a lot of guys, like coming from my background, especially like Asian countries, they were mostly like educated not to like disturb the strangers or the others, even friends. So this thing like is what like built in my
a little bit of unlearning.
So now I'm doing this like unlearning process. I have to do like also another dozens of approaches just to unlearn that.
Cool. So what would you say to guys who are maybe considering taking the plunge? Maybe they've watched a bit of stuff on YouTube, but they haven't actually committed to doing approaches or coaching. Is there something you'd recommend to guys to accelerate that momentum?
If you're watching those like a YouTube video and like infield videos, it's good to watch it as inspiration. But if you're watching it and like let's say 3 months and you're not taking action, that's a serious problem. So you better just start watching it and just go out and take action. And the best option will be definitely like come to the boot camp. It's a bit costly, of course, but I think it's definitely worth it because it just saves a lot of times.
Well, we talk about it from every other perspective, any other skill set, right? It's a no-brainer. You can get coaching because why bother making the mistakes and trying to teach yourself from scratch? Because our most valuable asset is time.
Time.
And we never get that time back. So obviously the way to do it is streamline that.
Yeah, that's right.
And me and Ed, I think we've been doing this a long time. I still get coached now. I mean, I've been doing this 7 years, but I still get my own coaches to mic me up, listen to me, give me feedback on my verbals, my body language. Because you're never as good as you think you are. You've got to enjoy the process, always be looking to improve, get better. And instead of trying to just wing that on your own, which is just a crazy way to learn, a very time inefficient way, look to get coaching from people that are doing this, living this lifestyle, and that have guys like you going, oh yeah, it's a full experience basically. Anything to add, Ed?
This girl here might be a nice one to approach.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm gonna go away with the police. Excuse me. Oh, so you listen to music?
Yep.
I'm sorry to disturb you, but I just saw you over there. I was sitting in the espresso house, and I saw you walk by, and you look really nice. I've come to say hi.
Oh.
What's your name?
Mina.
Mina, hello. I'm Brian.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, you look like you're going to a gym.
Right?
Gym?
No, I'm going swimming.
You're going swimming, you're still working out. But I just saw your skirt, like really summery, really nice. And so I just wonder what are you up to, like recently?
I'm actually going on a date.
Going on a date, like a Tinder date?
Yep.
Oh really, a Tinder date? Like I just wondering, like how does like Swedish guy meet Swedish girls?
I don't know.
Only dating apps?
What?
Only dating apps?
Mainly, or through work, or maybe if you study together.
Oh my God. So, okay, study is fine, but through work, that's the worst, all right? Like having a romance in the office.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst.
Yes.
That's why you go on Tinder, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
I would recommend Tinder.
But you say you're going swimming.
Yeah.
But you go to the Tinder date.
Yeah, with the Tinder dates.
Oh, so you're like still dating a guy right now?
Yeah, I'm going to meet him. Like,
okay. So,
swimming.
all right. So is it a serious relationship already?
No, it's been on a few dates, but.
All right. How about dating another guy?
I think I want to focus on this one.
You want to focus on this
Yeah.
one? All right. You're such a loyal girl. All right.
And yeah, so now we're kind of working a bit more on showing a bit more kind of sexual intent in the conversations. Because obviously I know, like, as is the case with a lot of beginner guys, that they have quite sort of platonic conversations a lot of the time, that they don't really show that much sexual intent. So that's something we're kind of working, well, we've been working on that past couple of days a bit more, haven't we?
Yeah.
Often it's the case that, you know, guys will just kind of have, or just, you know, play it too safe in conversation. Like, they won't take risks. They won't sort of like do that subtle, you know, the subtle kind of calibrated sexual intent. They won't throw that into the conversation. And oftentimes it's actually a lot more risky to not do that than to actually do that and take that risk and actually, you know, say, make that joke about you're not going to marry her or whatever it happens to be. And yeah, so that's kind of what you're doing
Breaking
a bit more now.
You know, playful, but then not being, if you feel it's getting too like someone, you know, in a hospital, you have the flat line when someone dies. If you feel it's too much like this, you want to spike it, you know, break the core, tease her, ruffle her feathers.
Yeah, that's mainly my problem, because I always like going to like, what do you do? Like, what are you up to? What do you do for a hobby? And
that's okay, but then what she says is we want to be a bit playful with her.
Yeah.
Essentially, you want to kind of use the information that you get from her and just to kind of spin it around and like flip it around, make a joke out of it. Don't take it like too seriously. And make a joke out of it, tease her a bit, you know, throw it back at her, but in a funny way, in a ridiculous way.
Yeah, I think I did try a couple of times, and then of course sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it just doesn't create any like effect. Just like the girl can roll their eyes or just give you an awkward look. But I think this is just what happens. Just take it anyway. Well,
it's so much better to take that risk. And
take that risk
and have a slight bit of tension in the conversation and to have it kind of boring and flat.
Absolutely.
Because she's just going to kind of it won't be as memorable for her, and she won't look back and think, oh yeah, I felt that connection with that guy. And that's actually one of the reasons why a lot of girls flake as well, because it's a bit just too kind of ordinary.
They just don't remember you, right?
So guys, if you want to kick up the ass and come and work with me and Ed, individually or together, whatever, we're going to be spending a fair bit of time coaching together around the globe. Contact details will be below, so get in touch and stop pretending you're going to do this yourself, because we all know that we're not, basically. No one implements stuff on their own. You don't implement any free stuff you watch anyway because you don't value it enough. So get your money out of your pocket, hand it over to us, and we will kick you up the arse in the right direction and teach you what you need to do. And again, remember that time is your most valuable asset. Every second you're not sorting this out in your life is another day that goes by where you're not living, you know, a dating life where you're focusing on living life in your own terms with a abundance of options.
I guess, I guess just as like a final sort of question to you, how do you kind of foresee yourself, obviously when you go back to Germany, how do you kind of foresee yourself, you know, taking on board all the stuff you've learned and moving forward with this?
Well, first I think when I go back to Germany, I would definitely just integrate this into my life. Like I probably still like do like sessions every week, like maybe with some wingman, probably weekends, and 2 hours or 3 hours per day, or Saturday or Sunday.
Yep, great.
Yeah, and then but the most important thing Ed told me about is like integrate this thing into your life. So like right now, before I came to the boot camp, because I was cycling just from the work and to work. So when I see like beautiful girls on the way to work, I'll just stop and then just have a talk with the girl. And I think this is really important, that you don't feel like you're just putting a certain amount of time just doing this. It's about really like integrated into your life.
Fully embracing it, just fully like living it in terms of like, you know, you're on your way to work, you're on your way to groceries, you see one hot girl on the way, you just go in and approach, and it doesn't matter if it's a shit approach. In fact, it's quite likely that it will be a shit approach because you haven't done it for a while.
And by the way, one major takeaway from this boot camp is actually not really how to talk to girls. It's about like having this like social freedom, I think.
Social freedom, pushing your own social boundaries, because often what we find in life is they're self-imposed.
Yeah, that's right.
Telling you can't go and speak to that other human being. We create our own reasons and our own stories and narratives about why we can't do that. It's absolute nonsense. No, it has no base in reality. Yeah,
that's right.
And you feel better from, you know, we're built to be sociable creatures. You feel better from exercising those social skills.
Yeah, definitely.
But as you said, absolutely building it into being, you know, most guys that come on this, that come and work with us, they are naturally more introverted. So there needs to be a real push to just being more extroverted, full stop, and bantering and being playful with everyone. Because it all links together, and then when you see that hot girl, it's not that big a deal to go and talk to her.
That's right.
And on that note, do you like this one?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, wow. Let's go for it. Go for it, man.
Oh, excuse me. I know this is really random.
Yeah. I'm a bit in a hurry. Yeah.
But what's your name?
Ivilsa.
Just have a nice day. I just want to say you look really beautiful today. Yeah. Have a nice day.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Bye bye.